Muslims in America are becoming bolder than they ever have before as the threat of losing their religious rights and ultimately control is imminent under new leadership. With every heinous crime committed in this country by Muslims, their claim of assimilation and desire for equality is compromised. This has never been more the case than it is right now. About 36 hours after an innocent white woman was killed by a Somali Muslim cop in Minnesota who had no business wearing the badge. Rather than staying silent on the matter and proving they're peaceful, Muslims in Massachusetts got loud, proud, and disgusting with what they blasted on massive billboards in Boston. Islam was praised and protected for 8 years under our former president, and now their plan for complete domination over this country is slipping away. Fed up with being feared after every terrorist attack, Muslims in Boston just fought back at concerned citizens and President Donald Trump with a massive message all around the busy public transit system that cannot be ignored. Now, it's only a matter of time before civil war erupts in the streets there based on what the sign says. President Trump is a Muslim's worst nightmare since he doesn't make apologies for what needs to be done to protect Americans, no matter who it offends. With the constant chatter of concern for Islamophobia after any attack, Islam-sympathizing city workers in Boston want to get their misguided message out about who's really at fault, and it's not the Somali cop who pulled the trigger. The investigation is still not completed into what happened Sunday night that led to bride-to-be Justine Damon being shot dead, but Muslims are already making their case against the American people with the help of city workers. City workers are putting up PSA posters around Boston Monday in a new initiative to show people how to safely step in and help stop incidents of Islamophobic harassment. The cartoons depict a public transit scene where a disheartened-looking woman wearing a hijab sits while an irate person towers above her in a threatening manner. Another young woman looks on before deciding to intervene. The step-by-step instructions, city officials said, encourage bystanders to quickly strike up conversations with Muslims being assailed by strangers, in hopes the actions will help disrupt the abuse, make victims feel safer and less alienated, and help disempower perpetrators. Abuse. Why aren't there posters and billboards around American cities to express the real abuse? And that's the infiltration of Islam that Americans are being forced to accept. It's all part of the plan of domination to use our sensitivities, political correctness, freedom, and laws created to cater to them to their advantage. Islam doesn't strive to coexist with the Western world. It hopes to take over our culture for not being like theirs and punish those who don't submit. Where are the signs to teach citizens what to do if they see a woman being abused or mistreated by a Muslim? Boston should educate the masses in their city on that, since it's far more likely to happen than an unprovoked Islamophobia attack. The posters also stress that both bystanders and victims should ignore the attacker, which city officials said in a statement is an approach called non-complimentary behavior. WBUR reported. The logic is that harassers will stop or go away as others' reactions deviate from their expectations and as they lose a captive audience. It's also interesting to note that these posters were originally created by a Paris-based artist back in 2015. This practice of acceptance hasn't seemed to work too well in Paris in stopping numerous terror attacks since the creation of these signs. What's especially disturbing with these signs is the timing. Justine Damon was killed on Sunday evening, and by Monday morning these posters were plastered all over the transit, hours ahead of the news breaking about the shooting around the country. Whether intentional or accidental, teaching people how to not be Islamophobic isn't helping keep people safe. It's like telling people hand feed a tiger a cookie because its fur is soft and to ignore the fangs. Share to show that Islamophobia isn't the cause of terror attack by Muslims in America. It's Islam. Americans shouldn't be treated as the violent terrorists when we're the victims.